My name is Kylie Mitchell Wells, Executive Director for Ballmer Group. I am from a family of 4 girls, and so my dad was always just so instrumental in making sure that we had all the tools that we needed to be successful in life. And so I was a young person who actually struggled in math. You know, in 2nd grade, when you are learning how to borrow and carry that one, well, for some reason, I just had an issue with that. And so my dad devised a plan, he and my mom, to have me become the house manager. Where at the tender age of 8 years old, I was actually writing out checks, believe it or not, and using that good old ledger to learn how to subtract resources. And so that was really the foundation of my life with finances, and just understanding. My dad would say, you never bounce a check, and make sure you understand your financial position always. And so having that experience really helped me to understand, as I grew into adolescence and adulthood, the importance of being able to not only manage your finances, but to understand your financial position and the different goals you have in life, and how money will impact those goals. And you need to get educated to make sure that you are able to earn enough to meet the goals that you seek. So my parents always taught me that money is a tool, and credit, using other people's money, oftentimes is needed throughout your life as you seek to make certain goals. And so I was just always taught that, your credit score is so critical to how much you wind up paying for a vehicle or for a home, those major purchases, or even if you needed a loan to assist with some other efforts. That credit score is critical. My dad would say, hey, come sit down with me as I do the taxes. And so I started to understand not just what you earn and what you spend, but how the government will really support you with credits if you qualify, or how there are opportunities for you to keep more of what you earn. I kept thinking, when I was preparing for graduate school, I said, I wonder how can I use all of these awesome finance skills that I've developed from my family and throughout my educational journey, and in my career, how can I start to think about using these skills to help people? It made me think about, why doesn't Michigan have a law for financial education? What could we do to help spearhead this effort? In my current role, we were able to get financial education passed here in Michigan for every student that graduates high school. He or she will have to have at least 1 credit of financial education to graduate, but making sure that young people are able to understand their finances are so critical, because many parents, they don't teach about finances. It was a bipartisan policy. It had a lot of support on both sides of the aisle. I think as adults, many people see how, had they maybe just had a little more understanding of finances, of credit, of how loans work in the economy, maybe their decision making would have been different. And so the evolution of this effort really started as a seed and a passion in me, and just knowing how beneficial my life has been, because my parents did take that time to educate me, not only on the finance piece, but the tax piece, and just how it's really helped me as a adult in making sound decisions. What we're hoping is, through this effort, the conversations will at least be had in community, at home, so that the fear can be mitigated. That's the whole reasoning behind it. People fear what they don't know, right? And so the more we educate, having it as a requirement in school, so it's a part of your general education studies, hopefully it'll open up conversation amongst students with parents as well as educators, just to do that, mitigate the fear.